Yes, we're here, mate. We're here. First walk in a long time. Wind coming past us. We started building up. We're not copying it here, it's more over that. Coming up over the ridge. Really going. Off the dirt road, just here. And this is the bush I walk next to. Now can you see that's all been cleared in there? Whole stack of that area been cleared back, and I've got two questions in my mind. Is somebody preparing to build in there? But I haven't seen a for sale sign anywhere. Have they been clearing this out as part of a preparation for bushfire season, because fires tend to come from that direction? Another view of it further down, and we can see back into there a bit. It looks like just all the low brush has been cleared, which is the idea when you're trying to prepare for bushfire, because you can see the brown on the bark here, sorry, the black from when the fires came through here before. So I've got a feeling this has just been cleared out in preparation for bushfire season, to try and protect the properties that are a bit further down this road. Wearing out. Something's being glued, not pulling too hard. You're such a dag, Pablo. Sam just wants to get back to the truck. He always walks faster on the trip back to the truck. Just finished with year 11, period 3. It's very hot out here. You can see that the yard's been tidied up. We've just got little bits of scrap of the treated pine stuff left. Platform's made. We've got this last leg in, got that one twisted around. You can see the diagonal bracing going across the front, and then some diagonal bracing here. And they got all these bits up. The water totes over there, their feet will basically sit on there, and there's a kind of a middle foot that'll sit there. So we'll get those set up. And then I've got to buy some more stuff for us to do a lip around the edge so those things can't slide off. Basically only 2 or 3 kids that worked on this, and they worked really well. I didn't think they were getting all the top screwed in, but they got it all pre-drilled and screwed in before the period was over. Bit of an icky looking morning. Driving down to grab the car trailer again to bring it back to take my wife's Jeep down. It's not so much a service, it's a repair. Thankfully an under warranty repair. Dropping it down there today, and it's booked in for a couple of days for them to get all the work done. Hopefully the impending rain holds off. 90% chance of rain, meant to hit our place at around 1 o'clock. I should be driving back from Narellan with the trailer to drop it back by that stage, because I've still got to go into work this afternoon, because we have a injury prevention training this afternoon. Is being delivered to almost the whole staff. It was broken into 3 afternoon sessions, and this is the last one, so I've still got to make sure I get to work for that. Well, I guess the rain came early. What can you do? I got the trailer. Pretty much the same trailer as I got last time. When I got it last time, the office part wasn't actually opened yet, and it said on the door, like, if the office, no one in the office see the guys in the garage section. And the guys in the garage section, I think, basically just work on servicing the trucks, the utes, the bearings on the trailers, basically keeping everything in working order so they can keep being hired properly. This time, there was a guy in a business shirt and nicer clothes who was already in the office, and so after I'd reversed up and hooked it onto the trailer, I came around the back and they went, all right, you've got to hook it all up because we're not supposed to. I went, oh, all right. I said, the guys last time hooked it all up, and he goes, yeah, and it's a liability thing. If you're taking it out on hire, then you should be the one connecting everything so you know where everything goes. You've done it properly. You can't say, well, you hooked it up for me and something went wrong. Not hard to hook up a trailer. In addition to your plug for the lights, your safety chain, these trailers come with a braided steel cable that's coated as the safety chain, and they've got two of them, and then there's another one that's hooked up to the emergency brake. So if the trailer ever managed, like, just say your tow ball pulled out of the back of your truck or your car, that sudden pull backwards would pull on that cable. It would basically lock up the brakes on the trailer so the trailer wouldn't take off down the road. Like all those videos you see online of people on freeways in the US with the trailer screaming down the highway on its own. Truck working beautifully. It knows the trailer's there because it's holding the gears a little longer. Not struggling. The trailer actually weighs 1,100 kilos. It's a ton on its own. Then you put wife's Jeep on it, which is 1.46 tonne. So you're looking at close to 2.6 tonne in total. Once the Jeep are on the back, I feel it. Really when you're on a hill or taking off at the lights, but once you get going, the torque of the diesel carries you along pretty well. Lapston Hill, speed limit is 90 coming up. The truck's stuck at 90. Quite often, cars will end up slowing down on that hill because it takes a fair bit of grunt to get up it. Bragging about the truck, I like it. It's done itself really well. When I was talking to the guy at the hire place at U-Haul, I told him why I was hiring the trailer, and he asked what year model the Jeep was, and I told him. He said, yeah. I told him what had happened. He goes, there's so much of the issues that they have with their fleet is in the electronics. He was investigating the D-Max, the Isuzu D-Max, because they're essentially built like a tractor. They're very tough. Isuzu used to make all of the motors for the Holden Rodeo, which then became the Holden Colorado. Then they decided to branch out themselves into the market. The Colorado and the D-Max were basically the same vehicle for a while. He said he had a look at the Great Wall, brand new, $37,000 for a dual cab ute. Couldn't believe it when you consider the price that they charge for Colorados and Hiluxes and that sort of stuff. I think the Great Wall's pretty much the same vehicle as this. When I was researching vehicles, this thing, the 2.8 turbo diesel, is basically a previous model Holden Colorado motor. So when this came out in like 2017, it might have been the 2015 motor from the Colorado, because they upgraded their motor in it. I think the new model of this has gone a smaller motor, smaller displacement, bi-turbo. One of the main things my wife doesn't like about this is the diesel clatter. The sound deadening isn't as good as like the Jeep. That's enough car talk. The rain we've had, ponds are being kept nice and full, and More tadpole eggs. All those little black dots are tadpoles, just waiting to come out of the foam. Up on the trailer, did it without any help this time. I'm a little closer to one side than the other, that's all right. Strapped down. I live by the same mantra as Jimmy DeResta. Think about how many straps you need and then add an extra one. So I've got 8. It's 2 per tyre. And the last thing I do is make sure that these things aren't going to pop up any higher on their things. Tie off all the loose strapping so that it's not flapping around. These ones I had to make sure they popped up to the top because the car might bounce and this will pop up and then it'll be loose. So, and I've gone through the tyres, or through the wheels, because then it allows the suspension to bounce without loosening your tie downs. Because sometimes if you tie down through your suspension or through your body, the body can bounce when you hit a bump and adjust your straps. I discovered that last time because I had a couple going through the suspension, and those ones were just a little bit loose when I arrived. But this is all good. It's tied down, I'll lock it up, wash my hands, head off. All loaded up, heading off. Remember what I said about steep hills in our area? This is the first one, and this is where the truck feels the weight behind us. It's doing it. We're travelling at about 30. It's just that first hill. And I've managed to load up and be out of here before 10. Means I'll get down to Narellan 11ish, then drive back to Penrith to return the trailer and go to work. Jeep's dropped off. I was a little nervous backing it off the trailer. Thankfully the trailer had some little muddy tracks from me driving up onto it, so I knew where to exactly set the ramps. I checked the width, just like I do when I'm putting it up, and just took it slowly straight back because I didn't do any adjustment on the trailer. So I knew if I was going straight back I'd be fine. Went off nice and slow, found a parking spot for the Jeep, left them the key, dealt with the paperwork, and then left. Take the trailer back, due back by 11:25 now. It took me an hour. Took me just over an hour to get down here from the house. So it's not going to take that long to get back to Penrith. I've also booked the truck in for service because it's due for its 90,000. Timing belt and everything kit, and it's a major service. So that's booked in for tomorrow week, so Wednesday next week. I've had the timing belt break on one car. That was my first car. I was driving over to the uni at night. I pulled into the driveway of the uni. The car just lost all power as I went through the gate. Remember when I had the Suzuki, I got a little nervous about timing belts needing to be changed and stuff, especially as the Ks were climbing. That's when I found out the Suzuki's 2.5 litre V6 actually had a timing chain, very tough and rugged. That car was the greatest. It was great up to 410,000 Ks, which is when I sold it. Sometimes I wish I hadn't sold the Suzuki. I kind of miss its compactness. It was very sporty with the 2.5 V6. Nice chunky tyres on it, slight lift. It was a workhorse. Well, the lady who bought it for her son, but had a friend come with her to buy it who's a mechanic. So he thought it ran great, sounded great, power was all still there. He said for an old vehicle this feels great. He was just going to do the work on it for the kid, and kind of felt good that it was going to a young bloke as his car. He needed it for work, and I think he was 19 or something. The kid who was going to get it. No, 17. I don't know. Under 20. But on the flip side of getting this, the Suzuki was not rated to tow as much as this does. Not sure if this weather is settling in for an extended period or at least a few days, but kind of started up yesterday, got heavy last night. The excavation under the stairs is a little pool. Pond is full. The frogs are loving it. Last day of the busy training yesterday afternoon was more of a theoretical one rather than a practical one, so it was only the middle session that was all prac. I'm relieving for the DP again. They're only doing 4 days a week still, 2 days on, Wednesday off, 2 days on. Dare say she's doing that now. She'll do it for the next 2 weeks as well, so I'll be up in the DP chair for the Wednesdays. That can't be guaranteed, but my Wednesdays are pretty much my lightest days. Today, actually, no classes at all. It would have been a great day to be just focused on timetable or stuff around the faculty. Already made that commitment, so makes it very easy for the admin head teacher to cover me for the day because she doesn't have to. We'll see how the day pans out. Yesterday was also Year 6 orientation day, but because I wasn't there I didn't get to see any of that. Year 7s are spending the next 3 days at Swim Week. It used to be called Swim School, now it's just called Swim Week, where they do their water safety training and all of those sort of things as part of the PE curriculum. Quite a number of staff out at that, and if you would normally have a Year 7 class during the day, you'll be used to cover the classes of the staff who've gone to the pool with the kids. Today is the 29th of November, so only 2 days left. I've gone, I don't know whether to call it a Ned Flanders or a Tom Selleck. I'm kind of leaning towards Tom Selleck in, now I can't remember the name of the show. It's not the Thin Blue Line, it's Blue something, cop show. He plays, I think, the captain in a station or something. This is kind of his look. I said I was going to think about trimming the hair as well, and over the last 2 days I just got a little bit, actually over the last 3 days I got a little bit sick of the hair. Hot and muggy on Monday, being out with the other kids doing that stuff on the landing, and then being out with my construction kids. Yesterday rushing around with the car on the trailer and just getting hot and muggy, and it was a hot and muggy day. My plan is that this will be gone by Friday, which will be December 1st. So got to thank all the people who've been donating, mostly workmates, $300 so far. Every cent is helpful toward research into cancers and to help fund mental health research and support networks as well. We've had some pretty massive storms the last couple of days, well, today especially. The wheelbarrow filled up and then tipped over. This section here, my little excavation, is a pool. And so what I'm doing, I'm hoping this is the lowest point down here. Got the hose in there. And basically using gravity to siphon it out, and it's just slowly watering the trees, I guess. My wife said that the storms were pretty massive. I know it was at school too. I didn't leave because a storm hit right at the end of the day. And she said it went for a couple of hours here. It probably did build up a lot more going over the mountain. When you look at how much water was under there, you actually see a tidal line. Actually, I'll show you again. You can see how high the water actually got in here. Like it got right up to just below the pipe. And when I got home, it was there. So it's absorbed into the ground a bit, but because this is such thick clay, it's taken a while. Checking under the house, there is no water in the laundry. I don't know about that area in the void, but where the water heater is right here and the powder room just here, there was no water under the house, which is a success, I think. Weather looks like it's going to be much nicer today. We've got a throwback Thursday happening at work today, so basically dressing up as something from whenever. Considering I've got this and I've got the gear, I'm going as the construction worker from the village people. Why not? I got a text message from one of my staff earlier this morning. If you can find another way into school other than using the freeway, then do it, because it took me whatever, like 15 minutes to go from Mulgoa Road to the Northern Road, 3 kilometre stretch. Thankfully, further down the mountain you can divert and head a different way before you get down to the freeway. I'm going to do that. It's going to be a bit more windy, but take me an hour. I'll get there just on time. Let's see how many other people find out about this and decide to head down in different directions as well.
Lights not loud enough. There we go.
Siphons are cool, aren't they? Still got notice I still had a fair bit of water in here. And the hose had come out because it was sitting here. This point is just a little bit deeper. You can see the water all heading that way. Move it across. There's water in this tree over here. That'll slowly drain that section out. Just had to do a quick dash around the front yard with the weed whacker. Clover was just going berserk. So cut it all down. Open the umbrellas up for some shade for the dogs during the day. And because it's meant to be hot the next couple of days. Did a weed and feed. I got this stuff that's supposed to weed and feed your lawn. Kill clover and bindies and that sort of stuff. And hopefully feed the grass. December 1st, which means Removember is done. It's all removed. So I'll probably shock a few people again at school, especially all the kids who've never seen me without a beard. They've started to freak out just sort of seeing the beard disappearing. But there's also staff who've never seen me this way as well. Yesterday I did a new enrolment for the deputy because she wanted to be at a year meeting that was on at the same time. I did a little bit of timetable work in the morning. Majority of the rest of the day I was helping out with that deck build out in the quad, essentially helping out with the setup of the posts. I think we got all posts in. They still need to be cut off at the top. The staff member who's been running this as the project with the A-team, he said he was coming in early this morning just to finish screwing down the decking boards, because at the moment they were just nailed. We'll work on the rails next week, Monday probably. pre-enrollment interviews today. The majority of my morning session, I have year 10 at the end of the day. Not much is getting done on the timetable because staffing is so tight that we're still not sure if we can cover all our classes. The teacher I lost over a year ago became a head teacher at another school. Well, he came to visit us yesterday afternoon, and he's having the same issue. He needs a staff member. He's just said, just give me tech mandatory, and he said they put it out to match and there was 0 matches. I said, I know. Quite shocking news that he gave me, but he found out that there were only 12 teachers that graduated, or so 12 new teachers that graduated with technology as their degree this year. There's 18 jobs advertised just last week, and there's 12 brand new staff in the system. And as the boss was saying yesterday afternoon, as we were having a chat, he said he's been speaking to the director and speaking to the education minister, basically saying, like, you can do as many, let's improve the perception of the profession to get more people to become teachers. That won't see a net result until at earliest 2026, I think he said. Homeward stretch of the year, end of week 8, 2 weeks with the students to go. Presentation night next week. We've got year 10 graduation next week. A couple of reward excursions for years 8 and 9 and 10. Swim school last day today. Nearly there. Progress of the deck. I was helping out with this yesterday. We're getting all these posts bolted in and screwed in and everything to the framework, and got those posts on the far side put in. Everything still needs to be marked off to 1200 high and cut, and then rails and etc, etc, etc. But definitely a great project for the kids and the school.